Hello, Spacers. Welcome to Starlight, a space opera. I'm Isaac, your host and GM for the adventures ahead. This show, whether you're watching or listening, is a labor of love, and one that we want to make the best for you. So if you can, take a moment to freely subscribe or share however is most comfortable for you. Thanks. Now let's plot a course to Starlight.
What up, party people? Welcome back to Starlight! Last time I was a little hangry, so we're bringing the energy! And with that, I bring the introduction to an all-star cast. We have Atlas, played by Coons. My wife, the elephant, playing
McKenna Ali, and it's Courtney Yorks playing McKenna Ali.
and Sam Williams playing
Clive Jensen.
Guys, seriously, thanks for joining the adventure. Thanks for being on this learning curve, this story, this D&D grind with us, and to treat you all for your viewing pleasure and the wonderful music to your ears, another poem in our series of Poem Month.
Can you guys tell Isaac's really not excited about this?
He actually hates what we're doing right now.
Yeah, really hates it. I think we should.
We should probably stop,
Yeah.
but we're gonna keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Bad Poetry by McKenna Ali. They call him Dungeon Master, but really he's quite a crafter. He claims to be fair, but he leads us to the lair.
Oh yeah.
He works hard to perform like a bard. He rolls the dice, which becomes our vice. Are you a fan? Then join the band. We think he's great, but sometimes we hate. We'll keep him around until the treasure is found.
Wow. I love
Nailed
that.
it?
Yeah, you nailed that. Boom.
One day, we're going to have a book of poems by McKenna that's going to be available for maybe Patreon subscribers.
Coming in 462 days to you.
Yes.
Please don't start counting.
Okay. Guys, are you ready to
Ready.
get into this episode of Starlight?
Let's do it!
Ready.
All right.
Neuralink, access memories.
Accessing. Sharing secrets in Thyra's safe room, the Spacers learn that perhaps the 6 signs which will harbor the Sunmaker's return are nothing more than a political ploy being used by Speaker Hulst and the House of Dictates. Still, they could be truthful. Is the Sunmaker going to reappear? The Spacers find themselves getting into more than they originally bargained for. But Thyra has a potential connection that could help them get to the bottom of things. Thyra, having tortured someone in cordial negotiations, has learned of an ancient temple once used by the Sunmaker, and now by Speaker Hulst. With dark dealings, they come to an agreement. Memories retrieved.
Footsteps can be heard coming down the stairs. The door bursts open. 3 dark-clothed figures, and they shout, "They're dead! The House of Roses, there's been an explosion, Thyra!" Thyra snaps her head over. What? Yeah. They killed them all. All of them. They were holding an emergency meeting, Thyra, and this is worse than I thought it was. We have to act quickly. We have to act now. They're growing bolder. And she looks at you 3, and she says, Do we have a deal?"
Well, I think we do, but when you say they're all dead, are we talking the entire political group, or just were the dictates? Are they dead too?
Yeah, who was there? Do we know?
No, it was the Affirmed. It was on their wing of the House of Roses. You see what appears to be a pug step forward, and he pulls back his hood, and he has like a bright, vibrant mohawk that's been kind of combed over. And you see just tattoos running up and down his body. And you also see a stun cudgel on his side. He says, no, the wing on the House of Roses, it's the one that belongs to the inner circle of the Affirmed. Blown to bits. All of it. Nothing but smithereens. Right at the time of the attack.
This is all a little bit too coincidental for me. I think we need to hurry up and figure out what's going on here. I have a feeling we're all in grave, grave danger. I mean, they could be coming here next and we have no idea.
Thyra snaps her head and she goes, he's quite correct. I want double the men. I want them at all of our safe houses, at our distribution centers. I want top notch from all of you. We've recently had a break-in in our security systems. I fear that we might be one of the next targets.
Well, what about you? It's clear that they know where you are. It's clear they know how to get to you. Where are you going to be?
She smiles, kind of like there's a little bit of a cockiness to it, and she goes, I've avoided trouble much of my life. I can do this. Trust me, when I want to disappear, I can. It's not me I worry about. It's my men. And it's the people of this city who never got involved and wanted to get involved in the darker affairs that some of us make a living from.
Well, if and when we come back, how are we going to find you? What's a good way to contact you?
She walks over to you and she goes, do you have comms at all, any of you? I can give you my private channel.
Yes, actually.
Yes.
Take this number. She hands it, scans a number over to you for all of you to only have. This will be the best way.
All right, well.
A bird never flies too far from its nest. Truth be told, I'll be nearby, watching.
All right, well. I think we should gear up and get on out of here and figure all this out before things start to get worse.
Thyra, do you have extra men who could come with us to the mountains?
Mountains?
I know you need us here.
To the chasm with the temple. I could probably spare one or two, yes.
You're strongest and smartest.
Go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
That would be a 10. No, sorry, that is a 13.
She shakes her head. She goes, no, I'm not going to waste my strongest. You can have someone who has been in those whereabouts.
Great.
But my strongest will
Stay here.
stay in places that I deem appropriate.
Great. Thank you.
She looks at all of you. Then it's a deal. What are you waiting for?
We're off.
Well, we gather up my stuff and start heading out.
Okay. For anybody who's injured, that time we can say was the short rest.
Great.
Okay. So, you guys make your... You're not injured at all.
No, I took 2 damage.
Oh, wow. You guys make your way up the steps, each one kind of creaking. As you come into the fake back room, the wall closes behind you. And you make your way out into the bar. The bar is still a mess. Most of the folks have left. And Atlas, sorry to say it, but Hillier is nowhere to be seen. He left with all the commotion.
Still needed him.
You guys make your way outside. There is a rain that's starting to come down. And when you saw the firefight before happening outside, you do not see that at this time. It seems to have died down. You'll find yourself looking across town. You can see the various corridors, the various, housing boroughs. you can see the smoking smolder of the House of Roses as just thick tendrils of smog is kind of like fading up into the sky. There is an expanse of stars that break through the clouds every once in a while, and it is cold. What do you guys do?
Well, I don't think we're going to get much left out of this village. It seems to be pretty blown to smithereens as far as I can tell, and we know we have to head north, right, to the mountain?
Yep.
Well, I'd say if everyone is all geared up and ready to go, we should just make our way there now. Like I said, I have a strange feeling that somebody knows we're coming.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
So, you guys are getting ready to, you kind of orient yourself, not having been from around here before, but gathering up the information, setting all the coordinates. There is a light voice. Hey! You the three that Thyra's sending? And from one of the back alleys, you see a tawny boy, about 14, walks up. He's in patched clothing, and he has this like hard face covered in scars. And he goes, "The name's Seer. Thyra told me you guys needed a guide. Called me right away."
Can I do an insight on him?
Yeah.
21.
Can you spell his name real quick?
Siiere. 21. He looks far too calm for what's going on, but you get more of the sense that comes from a harsh lifestyle. You also notice, as you're looking at him, that he's carrying hidden weapons that you can tell, just from like the bulges in the clothing.
Hello. Are you hoping to join us?
Join you? I mean, I don't hope for it, but I always hope for some money. And, place is going to shit if you know what I'm talking about, and, well, the only thing that doesn't change is money. So, no, I'm not hoping to join you, but I'm hoping to make some money, and Thyra sent me your way.
And you've been to the mountains?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my family grew up mining the silicates.
And you can get us there?
I can take you there.
Safely?
Yeah, I've been there and back.
Okay, then let us go.
Who do you think Thyra originally sent to go check out that temple?
So you've seen the temple then?
Oh, yeah.
Is there any information you can give us before we start heading that way? Kind of give us an idea of what we're getting ourselves into.
Weird. That's a good start. It's mostly like dusty reliquary kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it starts off kind of like it's a cave. Looks like nothing special, right? It's something that anybody who farms any of the mycelium, they would go in to gather. And as you start to go a little bit further in, there's tons of broken shell, clay, and you start to realize that maybe this ain't so natural, right? Get in there, artwork, broken, and then there's this great door, flanked by two of you, but they're statues, and big lock on it. Ain't gone further past that.
Does the door say anything?
Yeah, there's a bunch of funny symbols. Yeah, has this strange, no door handle or anything, and it's definitely for Loxodon elephants in size.
Mm-hmm. Are there many Loxodons in this part of town?
You?
Just me.
Yeah, I've robbed a lot of people, and none like you.
Well, I imagine it would be hard to rob ones like me.
You'd be surprised.
Well, really, because you've never robbed someone like me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, please take us there.
Okay, so as you guys start to head in that direction, he instead of taking you like by foot there, he takes you to a lot. And the lot, you can see a chain that's been broken, kind of kicks it open, and you guys see these hover speeders. And he goes, "All right, everyone jump on."
Is this yours?
Goes, "No."
Whose is it?
Some of the rich folks.
And do they know you're taking this?
Hell no.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't miss it.
I'm not getting on here.
All right, well, you walk.
I will. And I start walking through the mountains.
I'm not following her. I'm hopping on Speeder.
Just take these two cords, and and the speeder comes to life with a. So he invites one of you guys to jump on the back of his, and then he starts the other one for the other person.
Honestly, I don't know how much can they hold?
Oh, fine.
Yeah, they're like cars.
Yeah.
I'll get one.
It is nice.
I'm taking my own.
All right, so him and Atlas are sharing. He shows you how to start one, McKenna, and then just kind of and just starts to rev the engine, and it just off into the rain. Along the way, the rain is just pattering you guys. A lot of the fire has been put out, and as you're like leaving the town, the further, because you guys start to go north, and then it's like you have to go a little bit northwest to get there, and originally you start to get in some of like the slums and more of like where like factories are, and those areas seem to be less impacted and or hit by the attack. There is sirens in the back where you can see lights and flashes kind of in the direction of the House of Roses, and you start to leave that behind. You are driving your way towards the Anamas, which are the mountain range in which this temple is allegedly at. As you kind of cross the expanse, leaving town, the Anamas get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you find yourself getting into the foothills. Completely pitch black, the only light, your headlights. Atlas, can you make a perception roll for me? Nine. Okay. So, you guys are nearing up on what seems to be this giant hole in the ground, but not directly straight down, like burrowed into the side of a hill. You are brought to the side of it. The engine's turned off, and the boy gets off, and he says, "Leave them here." And he points to where you see a bunch of silicate structures, little, almost just like similar to like mounds or tree-ish kind of shaped rocks, and kind of pushes the land speeders over there, kind of using some of the engine's floating power to get there. And you are led to the entrance of this maw. Inside is dark. He sees turns on a glowing light. It's like a bright, brilliant green, and suddenly this cave entrance is lit up, and you just see an expansive structure. The boy looks at all of you and he goes, "I'm assuming none of you are too familiar with earthquakes and tremor sense and any of that sort of thing?"
Mm-mm.
Do as I say. Take off your shoes.
Okay. I'm not wearing shoes.
Oh, okay.
So he starts to take his off, and he goes, "You'll feel it first. Always. The best way to know something's coming is through the skin. It's only going to give you, like, barely seconds to do something, but that could potentially save your life." He pulls out these orange little packets, hands one to each of you. It has, like, a quick button, because these are pop-up shields. If we're going into a cave, this is what we use when we're harvesting the mycelium. And when he says mycelium, you look around the cavern and now you see like tons of mushroom sprouts off of the sides, the main food source of those who live here. If you feel anything, even if it seems like it's overkill, press this button. You're going to get a pop-up shelter. No promises about if something opens up and you go down. But at the very least, you're not going to get crushed.
Thank you.
Helps a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. Well, be reassured. This temple's been here for what looks like a while, and the cave is here. So there's something here, that's kind of reinforcing it. So, more or less, you should be worried about something falling on your head. Now, come on, we don't have time to waste. Starts to lead you in. You go through various caverns. Along the way, can all of you make a perception roll, please?
Ten.
16.
15.
Atlas and Clive, you both notice amongst the mycelium, there's almost like a bush of these almost truffle-like mushrooms that are, almost as big as you guys are.
Wow.
And just tucked away in it, you can make out the barest of some sort of a garment.
I go walk over to it and start rummaging through it and attempt to pull what I see out of the mushrooms.
Hey, what's that? And as you start to pull it out, you make a strength roll, please, an athletics check.
16.
Okay. You start to pull. There's a bit of a weight to it. You pull more and more, and eventually there's a start to a rip. You reach further in, and you feel something cold and stiff. Something further you can grasp, and you pull out a body.
Oh dear.
And it's a female. She's wrapped in blankets.
I wonder if this is the girl that our informant told us to go and find.
How does her body
Color
look?
hardest yet?
As you start to unravel the piece, you see that she has just the starts of some red hair. And what was your question, McKenna?
How does her body look?
Make a medicine check or a biology check.
16.
It looks relatively unharmed, except as you start to unravel further, you kind of have to pull part of the clothing apart, and you see above the chest there is a circle mark with little spokes around it, and it looks like it's been melted or branded into her.
Does it look like a sun?
It 100% looks like a sun.
Does it look like what we assume is the Sunmaker, or the Sunmaker's, as the sigil or whatever?
The necklace?
Yeah.
Make a insight check.
That's a natural one. No idea what it is.
Yeah, it's hard, it has the exact same shape, but
It's very weird. I wonder why this body has a wheel imprinted on it. Huh, well, it's probably nothing.
I would recognize that from the necklace I saw.
yeah, I would say so, since you saw it. Well, actually, you all saw it directly, so go ahead and make your insight check with advantage, McKenna.
10 and 24.
Yeah, McKenna kind of stands over her shoulder. She's able to confirm.
Are you sure? Looks like a wheel to me.
I am positive it is the Sunmaker's symbol. Never have I been more certain.
I mean, I guess I could see it kind of looks familiar. Yeah, I guess we'll go with that.
The boy walks over to you and he goes, Another one? God, I hate
Another
this place.
one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, when Thyra originally sent us here to go check this out, the place was littered with them. It was like
Did
someone...
they all have the sun emblem?
Yeah. Just like that.
Wow.
I threw up a little in my mouth the first time, but, second, third time, nothing really changes. So,
Wow.
anyways, whoever it is, I think, personally, they're the wiser to us. They also know we can't get in through that door. But originally when we got here, it was a mess. Bodies. Some, not that I know, but definitely some that I've seen. And, well, at least they're trying to hide it now. Or maybe they missed this one. Well, come on. Once you've seen one, you've seen all of them.
Okay.
I'm trying to take like a mental image. Are you able to am I able to save something in my my
Neuralink?
yeah, or my Neuralink? Am I able to save something
Yeah.
memory?
Like a snapshot.
Yeah, pretty much like a snapshot.
Okay.
So, and you'll just be able to try and you'll be able to recall it with advantage
Okay.
in terms of of accessing and figuring out where that data log is. But
Okay.
if you snap that, Atlas's eyes kind of go. All right.
I'm gonna go up to the door.
Yeah. So you are led by down further as the cave starts to angle further and further downward. There are some faint noises.
What are they?
No, it's just the animals that live here. Nothing to worry about.
What are the? Can I do a perception check on noises?
Yes. Actually, biology. If you're trying to identify the animal.
9.
No clue.
Okay.
All right. And then eventually, as you're descending, the steps become... The cavern starts to turn into steps. Cut, old. You pass layers of shell and clay. What looks like where the cavern becomes this actual temple, this change. You see originally where once were vases and statues kind of lined up in a row, where they've been crushed by things that have fallen from the ceiling. And the steps continue further and further downward. It is a mix of both ancient, archaic ways of creating buildings and masonry, as well as mixed with some more modern elements. The walls have been masoned, but they've been reinforced with steel. You can see where there's arcing little layers of circuits and stuff that create this moving, almost LED type light that circulates around the cavern. And it kind of is this weird combination of ancient, Mesopotamia type building with almost a neo-cyberpunk theme to it. Your steps echo. You come to the bottom. And before you is a massive door. The door is shut. It is about 20 feet in height and about 10 feet in width. On either side is an elephant, Loxodon. They are all holding a staff in the left hand, and they're flanking the doors like guards. And their hands are raised in a peace, like a peace offering of the open palm. And where instead of having one trunk, you can see where they had multiple trunks, just kind of creating a fan-like emblem. You can see some of the trunks have broken and fallen to the ground, but not so much damage as here, because the ceiling is almost completely steel and is been carved to reinforce and have just a few like masoned elements.
What does the door say on it? Assuming it's in Loxodonian language, I can read it.
It is in ancient Loxodonian. I want you to make an intelligence roll, but you can do it with advantage. What do you see?
It's a 12 and a 9.
Okay. What you gather from the door is something to the effect of, and some of the words are amiss, but the home of the one. You can't make out the next few words. Truth be found.
The home of the one, truth be found.
Sacrifice be given.
Oh, man. Okay. I know. Okay, keep going.
Praise. There's a blank. You will be led to a place of inner peace with all beings. And then the last line is, enter and forget your sins. And beneath the writing, there is a circle, and it's about 8 feet tall. There is a circle indent about the size of a platter, like a just regular platter, and it has 2 like oblong indents within the circle. Caesar walks up to the door and kind of like pushes it a little bit, and he goes, try that every time. Doesn't really work. Well, you guys are the experts. I got you here. And I'm interested. How are you going to get in?
Well, it looks like this place is related to Loxodonian culture in some way. McKenna, and you said you used to hang out with the Sunmaker. Does this place look familiar to you at all?
That's a good question. Does the place seem familiar? Not that I've necessarily been here before, but...
Go ahead and make a history roll, McKenna.
With advantage? That's 10.
I think you're stuck with that roll.
Okay, 10.
There are many elements of it that are familiar. The statue, for example, is a homage to that of the path, or the way, one of its physical manifestations. The pottery, the various cloves that have most broken, but have some effigies of geometric shapes, recognize the different virtues. And all in all, this temple entrance, if it even is a temple, looks like something straight out of one of your history books from the university.
Well, this looks familiar. Could I figure out how to open the door?
How do you want to try and open the door?
Let me do an insight on it first.
Okay.
Or would an investigation be better?
Investigation.
16.
16. Your eyes kind of sweep around. Again, you try to read the letters.
A sec.
The only things that you're able to potentially draw is what's written there? Does that have something to do with opening it? Maybe there's also, there's no door handle. Does that imprint have something to do with it? Is there something with the statues? And those are the kind of the 3 conclusions you kind of draw.
I'm going to take the girl's body we found and hold her heart thing up to the sun emblem.
Oh, so the door has no sun emblem. The door has a circle that has two more like oblong circles in it right next to each other.
Oh,
So
I bet it's necklaces. Was she wearing a necklace?
she's not wearing a necklace. Here's kind of what it looks like.
It's a top. I'm putting my snout
I was
in.
about to say, stick your trunks. Stick your.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna caution you all that when we go in here, we may not like what we see.
Wait.
The path is a very dark religion. The path is a religion where you think that you are the only right one. If the Sunmaker has expounded upon this, then we can't fight him.
Now, is this a religion or is this a cult? Because it's starting to sound a little bit more like a cult.
It started as this beautiful idea of just bringing Loxodon culture back from the past. And then it turned into this dark, twisted thing in which my daughter was killed. And
But didn't you sacrifice her?
No. Don't ever say such a thing again.
Well, I don't know. I've been kind of having a bit of a hard time trusting you recently with the recent found knowledge.
Could have never lied to you.
How am I supposed to know that?
How am I supposed to know you're not lying?
I never claimed I wasn't lying.
I cannot have this conversation with you when I am about to be reunited with the Sunmaker. You should also know another name for me is the Moonmaker. Alright, and I put my nose in.
Atlas, will you please make a history roll on the term Moonmaker?
Moonmaker?
That one.
Natural 20.
Oh my gosh!
The Moonmaker is one of the most wanted terrorists in the universe.
Interesting.
Does it have anything to do with what happened in the past or no?
No, not that you know of, but having your connections as an Acer, you are aware of other organizations, and there's a radical Loxodonian extremist group that, even though this one's, it seems, from what you've gathered, is different, it could have maybe roots of a splinter cell, and that's probably what started your initial interest in learning about it. But the Moonmaker is wanted and has been reportedly in hiding.
It's pretty bad, dude.
I don't even let them respond to what I said, and I put my trunk in.
Okay. So you stick your trunk in, just... Nothing happens.
Do I need to twist it?
You try and twist it. Nothing twists. It doesn't seem twistable. I want you to make a perception roll.
I'm going to trumpet into it.
So you... And then you let out the trumpet, and it immediately... There is air that suddenly goes... And you watch as there is just this whirring of... that seems to come from inside the door. Dust comes flying out from the cracks of the seams, and there's this... The doors open up enough that you guys can push them.
You watch my entire demeanor change from this nice, friendly Loxodon that you know to a very, I guess, I stand up straighter, my trunk is straighter, my eyes are narrowed, focused. I'm not the friendly woman that you were just talking to. And I'm walking in.
Noticing that, Clive will unwrap his laser rifle on his back and have it at the ready.
Please remember, I've been very kind to you. Okay.
Well, we'll see about that.
Going in.
You enter into what seems to be an antechamber of sorts. In there's more facades of the path in various forms. Ahead of you, there appears to be two barred doorways. There's rubble about, but it looks like it's been cleanly moved away. And
Is there anything hanging from the ceiling?
make a perception roll.
That would be 19.
There is nothing hanging from the ceiling.
But
Atlas, Clive, will you guys make a perception roll?
What are you getting us into?
it's me.
What is perception rolls, man? 7.
I rolled a big fat 2.
Alright, so you just look around at this relatively empty room, and mostly what you can gather is someone has been here, and it has been cleaned. The two doorways await ahead. Both are... One is dark, like shadowed. The other one seems to have been lit with regular, like, sconces.
Does this room look familiar? You can just say yes or no.
No.
Okay. I'm just gonna very confidently yell, "The Moonmaker is here. I'd like to speak to the Sunmaker."
So the Moonmaker is here. I'd like to speak to the Sunmaker. Maker. The echoes. And the reverberation comes back. Cecil looks at you and says, I don't think that worked.
Just wait.
The silence continues. And you hear nothing.
Yeah. In either doorway, is there a sign of someone having been there recently? Specifically, large footsteps.
Go ahead and make a investigation roll. Ooh, that's a bad roll.
That is a 5.
No. Nothing that you can tell. The only sign of someone being here, potentially being the lit hallway to the right.
I'm going to recommend we go to the right. And I'm going to recommend that you guys don't talk. But be ready to defend yourselves.
Now, before we go through that door, what exactly are we getting ourselves into, McKenna? Or Moonmaker?
I wouldn't expect anything to happen to you.
Terrorist.
I would expect that they'd want me to be sacrificed.
Why would they want you to be sacrificed?
So that's what you do in Loxodonian culture. Every once in a while, you need a Loxodon to sacrifice. And I wonder if they've had a Loxodon recently.
Now, is he the Sunmaker, also known as the Moonmaker, or are
No,
you?
I am the Moonmaker.
You are the Moonmaker, the one that's being hunted and is classified as a terrorist.
Yes, but
Man,
it never was supposed to happen this way.
It's funny how we ended up meeting on a prison planet, and it appears that you deserve to be there a lot more than I did.
It's just... Clive, I don't know that you understand the way good things become really bad really fast.
I don't think I understand quite anything that's going on here.
And I never knew the people. I never knew what I was recruiting the people for and what it would become.
I don't know. That seems to be what they all say when situations like this. But I digress. We don't have time for this right now. But just know, McKenna, I'm watching you.
That is fair. What you know about me is not good. If you choose to listen to what you've heard in the news more than what you've interacted with me in person, you have no reason to trust me. Atlas, that goes for you as well. If you choose to listen to what you've heard in the news more than what you've gotten to know me, then you have no reason to trust me. And I'm going to walk forward into the lighted doorway.
All right. So she starts to go ahead.
I'm going to follow behind her about 3 or 4 steps.
And following further behind is the boy. and Atlas, I'm assuming you're taking up the rear.
Yeah. What about it?
The hallway is long. It seems to break off into a variety of rooms, all of which seem to be of little consequence. It's set up in the way that the monasteries and temples back on your home world, when once it was, where you know from your histories at the university that a lot of these are the sleeping quarters for the priests, for those who have come to atone, for those who have come to dedicate themselves to the way. You continue going, knowing what signs to look for in general. And, Clive, will you please make a perception roll with disadvantage?
Seven total.
Ahead, McKenna. The hallway starts to break, and you can see just the barest glimpse of a great cavern-esque worship area. It has been, from what you can tell, kept in the fashion of the natural cave, much in the same way that the path or the way believes in keeping in tune with nature. There is a ledge that seems to drop down, and you can just make out the top of an entirely golden Loxodon statue, circle-legged, its trunk upward, and an actual fire being held in at the top of the trunk, similar to that of the Olympic torch, just burning.
Does this room look familiar?
It looks like the quintessential worship hall. Not familiar. You step through the door. Can you make a perception roll, please?
16.
16. There is a faint. Your ears flare. What do you do?
I try to turn to find out what it is.
You turn, and then there's a Clive, you catch it just at the last minute because she was blocking the whole view, but there is a trap that only your infrared vision can see, and she steps right through it. And she turns just as there is an explosion, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as the top of the ceiling crashes down on you.
When
16.
when I notice that she steps through it, can I go ahead and activate my barrier?
Oh, yeah.
Since I saw her step through the...
Yeah, go. I would say go ahead and roll an initiative roll versus mine.
Am I adding my initiative bonus to it?
Yep.
8? Oh, yeah, 8.
Atlas, will you also do the same?
And getting brushed by rocks.
15?
All right. So you both, including Caesar, all press the button, and there is this orange bubble with a hard top that just puffs up around you, and that's what you see, McKenna, just as rocks come crushing down onto you.
I rolled a 16, by the way.
Yep. See, that's half damage. That's 10 points of damage. McKenna, as just like some of the rubble just... You are battered and bleeding.
And I fall to the ground, passed out.
And what you guys, as you push open the entrance to your pop-up cover, you can just see McKenna's hand out of the rubble.
Did you not heal from...
Only half, because it was a short
Because we were
rest.
only at...
Holy shit! Did you guys see that? Oh my gosh.
Well, I guess we have you to thank for giving us these pop-up barriers. We would have been right in her situation if that happened.
Yeah. And you can just see the shock of someone who's never seen death. As the boy, he's seen death, but not happen right in front of him.
Well,
I'm not dead. I'm passed out.
He doesn't know that.
Okay.
Atlas, do you want to help me dig her out real quick?
was thinking about this for a second, though. She's a terrorist, correct?
That's true. But as much as I would love to leave her limp body laying here, unfortunately, I feel like we're going to need all the help we can get. And she has the best idea of what we're about to deal with.
Wait, Isaac, real quick, you gave me the history check. Because she's a well-known terrorist, what is her acts of terrorism? Like, what is she known for?
Go ahead and make a history roll as you've been mulling this over.
I don't think I have history in here. Oh, 8.
8. You're not really sure. You haven't looked into it too much. You just know from cursory look at the news as you're kind of like watching her bleed out and just considering if it's worth it.
Yeah, I'll start moving the rocks and everything.
As he's doing that... Oh, sorry. As he's doing that, Clive's going to start sending healing nanobots towards her.
Okay. So you're probably behind Atlas because it's 1 by 1 square. And then Seesaw's behind you.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize
There.
it was that narrow.
Yeah, it's pretty narrow. I need all of you, not you, McKenna, Atlas and Clive, to make a perception roll with disadvantage.
Fuck. So, perception, 10.
10. Okay. You guys are pulling the rubble apart. You're starting to heal McKenna. Go ahead and roll for the damage. I mean, the healing. Sorry, not damage. And as the nanobots start to coalesce around McKenna and like you start to draw a breath again, like kind of waking up covered in dark, the sounds muffled. McKenna, from your viewpoint, you hear both Clive and Atlas talking. And then there's this muffled other noise that you pick up through with your ears. You can't really tell who it is. All you hear is the sound of a gun that goes. And you hear it start to hum.
Can I hear it?
Clive.
Was that 3 points?
That is 11 points of damage. As you are healing McKenna, this bolt slams into the back of your shoulder and just throws you to the side. And everyone... 11. We are in initiative.
Are you passed out?
Yeah.
No!
Clive?
Because I was only at 4 before we healed.
Wait, so are you down, or?
Yep. I was only at 4 hit points before we healed.
Clive, will you please roll a perception roll?
No? Is no an option?
Okay,
man, I got 6. Oh,
I remember you got the stories for the...
You don't see who shot. You don't know what it was. You were just suddenly hit by pain. And then everything goes dark. Atlas, you were alerted. You drop the rock as Clive falls to the ground. McKenna, you are stuck under the rubble. Atlas, will you please roll initiative?
That's just
Alright,
all the worst rolls.
11.
Okay. With that,
I'm curious when your legacies.
you have Clive, you have Seesaw right behind you. I need you, Atlas, to know that you have to go through difficult terrain to get to this assailant. You look back down this corridor. You see a figure with a laser rifle, dark clothing, and will you please make a perception roll?
I'm at -3, by the way.
A natural
You actually
one.
don't go negatives unless it's double. When you go down,
Yeah.
you don't that's old D&D rules. You go negative. The only time negative matters is if say your health is let's say your health is 10.
Yeah.
If a one hit takes you to -10, I believe that's
Oh.
death. Otherwise it's just 0. All right. What'd you get?
1.
1. The figure pulls up like a bandana over their face as they hoist the shot up, and
Wait a second. Do I? Oh, never mind. It's not my turn.
Is it big?
the gun?
No.
Or the gun or the person?
The person.
No, the person is average size.
Do
You're
not
not
know
really.
if it-
You're not able to see though, McKenna. So, with
I
that,
just had an idea.
McKenna, you're first.
Damn it, I'm assuming they know I'm there from when I yelled. So whatever I say is not going to stop. I'm just going to hit it with a fireball.
You are currently stuck and can't see and aren't able to take a shot. You are incapacitated unless you can make a strength, an athletics check, or some other way of trying to move these rocks off of you.
The way you say that makes me so mad. I am going to try to get up while sending a message to this person saying, I want to either see the Sunmaker or Naguvu.
Okay. Then
Wait, who?
It's a message.
Oh, okay.
go ahead and make this with persuasion.
14?
14. There is a muffled voice that calls out. And it says, "You follow the path?"
Yes.
And you hear this muffled yes. Can you make a deception roll, McKenna?
$19.
19.
I didn't want to do this.
There is a then you know what must be done.
I don't. Why? The path does not say this must be done.
There is
You path.
no answer. Just the sound of the hum of the laser starting to crackle.
This is not the origin of the path. And I'm gonna stand up and try to get the rocks off of me.
Alright. Well, we'll
Almost
say that's your interaction.
epic.
We'll say that's your interaction with the environment. You can make that with strength roll with disadvantage.
Okay.
Since it's not your actual action.
7 and 14.
Okay. You are unable to move the rocks. Alright, Clive, I need you to make a death saving throw.
Alrighty, here we go.
What?
What? Am I adding something to that, or is it just
It's just
a
10.
straight roll?
Oh my
10 higher is
gosh.
what you need.
You got this, buddy?
Clive, one heartbeat goes by. You can feel the very little bit of feeling you have. You can feel the skin just starting to kind of wither away from the shot of the laser rifle. You always wondered what this felt like to be on the other side of it. Everything's going dark. You can barely make out what's being heard. And some of the better times come. For some reason, you're thinking of your baked beans recipe and how good it would have been to serve that to a family or something.
That's Clive.
Yes.
I wish I would have got the dance a little bit more.
Okay. The person raises the rifle, aims it at Atlas, and takes a shot. Atlas, that's a 17. And it just shooting straight at you. 5 points of damage as the bolt slams into the side of your arm. The character gets down onto his
Is
knee.
it like elemental damage or something?
Radiant.
Oh, okay.
He gets down onto one knee, levels another shot, and then takes one other shot and just and the shot also rings out, hitting you in the side of the shin. Atlas, that's 8 points of damage.
Yeah.
Atlas, it's your
It's all
turn.
radiant damage, right?
Yep, your turn.
Man. Alrighty.
I don't understand why this thing's
Atlas.
happening.
Alright. We have plans. Alright. So. Shit. I don't don't have the Duncan Calendar though. But I was going to use one of the painkillers.
Okay, so that gives you temporary HP. 2d4 temporary.
2d4?
Yep.
Ooh, okay. Alright, and then is that a bonus action or is that my action?
That's your action.
Oh, it's my full action?
It is. Taking potions and the items are actions.
Wait, no, I thought potions was bonus action.
You can't take a bonus action unless whatever you're trying to do specifically says that you can take it during a bonus action.
I'll check the rules later on that, but I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be my turn.
Okay, so you kind of like turn around, you pop these pills real quick, and you just feel like that warmth of the numbing sensation. McKenna, you are awake now, so go ahead and roll initiative.
9. So
Okay.
nothing.
Nothing. All right. The figure, still on the knee, raises the gun, takes the first shot. It fires past, ricocheting across the wall. He takes one step further back away, seeing Atlas taking the drugs, and takes another shot. This one, again, goes wildly, shooting just past Cisa. We have McKenna. You're up.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get up.
I want you to go ahead and make an athletics check.
While messaging, can I message and get up? I think I should do that. Right?
Yeah, you can make the message, and then as your action, we'll say that that's disadvantage again.
Okay. So, damn, I'm not gonna. So 8, it's 9 and a 4. Don't get up.
What are you trying to message?
I'm just gonna message. I'm the Sunmaker, and I want to see the Moonmaker or Naguvu. Now.
Make a persuasion roll.
22.
The figure yells back, "Technomancer! If you know anything about the Sunmaker, then you know he is never coming back."
Oh.
And as he finishes that sentence, there's just this ever so slight from the ends of his words.
Why?
All right.
She, by the way, she's never coming back. And then I'm just go on life.
Clive, I need you to make a death saving throw.
Oh. Wait, the Moonmakers? Sunmaker can't come back?
So it's 1 fail and 1 success.
One success. You draw in a deeper breath. Atlas, your turn.
Did I?
Alright, I'm
You said
gonna.
something.
How far is he from me?
About 25 feet. Clive,
Okay, so I can't. I was gonna say, I can't get to him. I'm just gonna bonus action rage and then get as close as I can to him.
okay. Yeah, so you
I
can,
know he says difficult terrain, so.
yeah, if you dash, you can make it.
No, I want to take an act, so I'm just gonna get as close as I can, and then I'm gonna shoot him with the first axe.
Okay, so leveling the weapon, go ahead and take your shot.
4.
It shoots wildly past. You're just, ammo just being wasted on the side of the wall that just boom. All right, he got a 21 with his initiative roll, so he's going to go first. He, as you're approaching, he takes another step back, levels both shots at you, Atlas. The first one again misses, ricocheting across the wall, spraying dust all over both Clive and Caesar, and the second one does exactly the same with my 3 I just rolled. He, you see as you're approaching, you can actually see the whites of his eyes get a little bit wider as maybe he's realizing that if he doesn't do something soon as you're approaching him, he might be in trouble. McKenna.
Okay, I'm trying to get up again, and then I'm yelling, I am the Moonmaker. That is a 11 to get up.
Okay, yeah, so there you go. Now, you shove the rocks aside, battered, bruised, beaten, you get up, and you yell that you are the Moonmaker.
And I would like to see Nuguvu.
I want you
Now.
to go ahead and make an intimidation roll.
That could have been such an epic moment. 9.
9. You trumpet this. It resounds, but in all of the wildness, all of the craziness of the shots, it gets drowned out in the fire.
Am I back here?
Yep.
Okay.
Clive? Another death saving throw, man.
You got 20.
You also notice Clive passed out.
That's 2 fails, 1 success.
All right. Atlas, you're up.
Alright, so I'm gonna get all the way to him now, I think, right? Or no?
Yep, you'll be able to get to him. So you kind of run up into his face, axe wielded. And
Yep. So I'm gonna swing reckless at him. Just risky, but you know what? Need to hit him, so. Alright. 18.
18. The axe shears into the side of him. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Oh. 6 plus 6, 12.
12. All right. He just barely gets it back. You shear off kind of like the end of the bumper to his, like, bumper stock partially, like just clipping the edge, and you watch as he just looks in fear. The whites of his eyes like just growing. There's something familiar about it. Can you make a perception roll?
This is that kid. Let me see. 2. I can't do
2?
perception.
As you start to look closer, he kind of like hits you with the back of the rifle just enough to kind of get back, but you can see that there's a wide swath of blood just kind of dripping down his body. Atlas, will you roll initiative, please?
13.
13. Okay. McKenna, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to Atlas and try to use a med kit to stabilize him. Clive, yeah.
Okay, so
To use a med kit to stabilize him. I can't fit on the thing, so I'm just next to it. I'm stabilizing him with a med kit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you pull the med kit out. You start to stabilize. Clive, you find yourself moving into the ethereal place where synths go to sleep.
So nice.
There's nothing there except for faint echoes of things that you don't recognize. McKenna, again, as you're working on Clive, you notice the clear liquid kind of running out of him versus blood. All right. Atlas, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna swing at him again. Excuse me. Reckless. 22.
So you swing, you shear into the side of him with the... How much damage?
9.
9. All right. This time, when you hit him, you tear some of the cloth off and you can just make out underneath it, like faint scales glittering on the skin. The figure kind of backs away. His mask almost slips. He pulls it up further. And then it's his turn. Taking a disengage, he moves away as you again try to like grapple and hold him in place. He kind of shoves you aside and he just starts sprinting off into the hall with a and he disappears around the corner. What are you gonna do?
I'm still raging, so I'm gonna chase after him.
Okay. So, McKenna, you watch as Atlas starts to chase after him.
Atlas, don't do it. You don't know where he's going. I'm trying to talk you out of it, but you could totally...
Of course, for a second.
I said, Atlas, don't do it. He's going somewhere you can't defend yourself.
I will go to the very end of the hallway. I just want to keep going like down the wall. Yeah, I just want to see if I can see him and then get one shot off or not.
Okay. Yeah. I want you, as you're running, to go ahead as you see him just about to turn the corner to take one shot. Three. It ricochets, and at the same time, I want you to make a perception roll now.
16.
16.
There you go.
There was a...
Yeah, finally.
And you hear the sound of what appears to be like some sort of handheld explosive being thrown down the hallway behind him.
Gosh.
Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw with advantage.
17. Wait, yeah, 17.
Okay, so there's an explosion as you throw yourself back into the hallway. You guys hear this. Clive, this is actually what wakes you up out of your stupor. It's just... Alice, you get singed. And that is 7 points of damage as you throw yourself out of most of harm's way. And then the rumble goes quiet. There is a faint... Atlas, you peek your head up. Just a little bit of that rage still there, scanning. And you see that the entire way out has now been blocked.
I'm going to yell, Naguvu, I'm here. The Moonmaker is here. And I would like to see you. I'm livid.
Sisa looks around at all of you and he says, "Who is Naguvu?"
I'm going to whisper to him. You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Okay, and you're calling him?
Yeah, I'm certain you'll find out.
Oh, gosh.
Just be on your best behavior and hope he's in a not sacrificing mood.
And it's at that moment when you hear Atlas stumble back around the corner of the hallway. Just like some flame still lit on his clothes that he kind of pats out. Clive, once again, you find yourself in McKenna's hands.
This needs to stop happening.
I'm going to stroke him with my trunk.
Please do not.
Clive, it's going to be okay.
The beautiful part is you all start to get your bearings as you see the entrance from McKenna when you threw the rubble aside has now been kind of cleared. You guys are, able to disseminate the information that the hallway's been, the way out at the very least has been collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
There's again, you can hear the crackle of the fire on the other side as the rumbles start to subside.
Well, I think we're going to go the only other direction that we can go.
Gathering yourselves, you start to walk out in the only direction you can go. And you come into a large cavern. The cavern is bland in comparison to the rest of the temple. There are facades carved into the walls, however. And again, there's that giant golden statued elephant sitting cross-legged, full lotus, fire held above its head in the trunk. From where you're standing, you are eye level with the head. Then there is a steep cliff drop that goes about 20 feet down to the bottom. At the bottom, you see a circle. First, it's white, almost chalk-like. That's not what draws your attention. What draws your attention is what is about the circle. About the circle are about half a dozen pillows used for meditation. And beside each pillow are the remains of bodies that have long rotted away. Not long, but pretty over a few years. And you can see the implements used to kill themselves. Long, wicked daggers, jade pommels, and at the center, you see one Loxodon-sized pillow for meditation right at the base of the statue. And you see that there is a slight discoloration on the statue. And what looks like a lot of like browned, dried blood caked onto the belly of the statue. And judging, especially you, Atlas, judging on what you've seen, and Clive, what looks like someone blew their heads out with. But there is no Loxodon body. And that's where we'll call the game.
Wow.
So, thanks so much for coming. We hope that you enjoyed it. We loved having you, and we can't wait to see you again next time. Till then, enjoy the holidays, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Starlight. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, subscribe. For early releases, exclusive RPG content, and other bonus material, check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/starlightadventures. And to reach us for questions to be aired, email us at thestarlightadventures@gmail.com. See you next Tuesday, Spacers.